How do you mess up an easy layup and not call this movie Bad Boys for Life? Outside of that, this movie was really good. Usually I hate things that rely heavily on nostalgia, but I actually really enjoyed this movie. And we are talking spoilers, so if you haven't seen this movie, turn this off and then come back later. I've been told that my spoiler warnings are noticeable enough, so spoilers. Bad Boys for Life is a movie that I didn't really have high expectations for. I was so ready to call Martin and Will washed. They're too old. Why are they doing this? But after watching this movie, I wouldn't be upset if they gave us another one. I didn't realize this until recently, but apparently this is a very controversial opinion, but Bad Boys 1 is my personal favorite. I've seen that movie 1,000 times. Bad Boys 2 I also thought was really good, and I was surprised to see that the critics apparently hated those films. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I have not seen the third movie. I meant to watch it last night, but I got busy and I completely forgot. But after watching this movie, I feel like I didn't even need to because they did such a great job of catching me up and filling me in. Like, it wasn't any point in this movie where I felt completely lost. Apparently Mike Lowrey has a son, which isn't surprising. Apparently that son killed Captain Howard in the last movie. My guy Reggie became a Marine. My boo Vanessa Hudgens is also in this movie. Like, I feel like I might have missed some small things, but overall I feel like they did a great job because I was engaged with the entire film. Like, I'm surprised I like this a lot more than I thought I would. Alright, so let's start with my favorite part of this movie. Well, I have two favorite parts, but as a guy who loves cameras and I would love to make my own movie one day, the cinematography in this film was incredible. It was a clip that went viral before the movie came out of Will Smith acting with the camera strapped to his chest. It looked even cooler inside the context of the film, but the boner that I got during that final set piece, I'm talking about, you got angles of a first person shooter, you got slow motion guns flying through the air, you got explosions, and I love the use of drone shots in this movie. But even outside of that final set piece, it was so many different shots in this movie that I was just like, wow, that looks really good. The way they played with different camera angles, the camera movement that they use. I've never heard of these directors, but apparently they're a duo that works together all the time, and they're both under 40 years old. If they were able to do this, I need to go back and see their other movies. And my other favorite part of this movie, Martin Lawrence. And I was really surprised with this performance because this was the first movie that I've seen him in a long time. But with him getting up there in age, I was like, oh man, the jokes ain't gonna hit the same. He can't move like he used to. This ain't the Marty Marr that I used to know. But his timing and his delivery is still as great as ever. And he had multiple jokes and moments in this movie that made me and my entire theater laugh out loud. And Will Smith is great. Will Smith is always great. But I saw some people trying to bring up Chris Rock and the whole Oscar slap situation. I feel like it's only white people that still care about that. I am not canceling Will Smith just because he slapped a dude. My guy Reggie had his John Wick moment where he killed like 30 dudes at the same time. That shootout scene in John Sally's art museum was incredible, and that helicopter scene, it was just so many intense moments in this movie, and the production behind all of them were top notch. Another thing that really surprised me was that I ended up liking the guy that played Will Smith's son, because when I was watching this and I found out that Mike Lowrey had a kid, I was like, I mean, it makes sense, but I don't really know how I feel about it. I didn't really like him at first, but as the movie went on, I enjoyed almost every scene that he was in. He had all the cool scenes. Like, even though it was kind of unrealistic, well, very unrealistic, I watched him beat up a couple of dudes with a 45-pound weight. Like, he was so cool. I wouldn't be mad if they gave us a spin-off series and just called it Bad Boy. It's not gonna happen, but I like the character. But this was a really fun and surprising movie to me. Like, in my theater, you had people laughing out loud, you had people clapping. I hate when people clap at a movie theater, and I'm a loser, so I went by myself. But when I could see the other people and listen to them talk to their friends about it, everyone in the theater was saying how great this film was. And while I did enjoy it myself, it definitely wasn't perfect. The first issue that I had with this movie was the main bad guy was weak as hell. He was just a generic bad guy, no sort of depth to him. He was just the evil mastermind that wanted money. Super boring to me. And then you got Mr. Fantastic over here bringing up 9/11 and trying to make it this deep thing. But it just didn't work for me. Like, this movie is strictly turn your brain off and let the fun and nostalgia guide you. The story for this movie was very predictable. Like, Mr. Fantastic, for those who don't know, I call him Mr. Fantastic because he played Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four movie. Take a shot every time I say Fantastic, but I forget that some people are younger than me. But he was the guy that was trying to be the mayor of the city. I knew from the very beginning that he was going to be a bad guy. I also predicted that Mike was going to have to pick between his wife for sure and either Marcus or his son very early on, because Marcus, when he was going through his spiritual journey, he said, hey Mike, you're gonna have to make a very hard decision, wink wink. Also, I don't know if I'm tripping, but I feel like it was a couple of characters in this movie that just completely disappeared, but maybe I just zoned out and I just completely missed it. Like, that computer chick, the girl that was working with the bad guys, she was doing all the tech stuff, I feel like her character just went away. Also, that police officer, the old guy with the glasses, I feel like his character also just went away. I don't know. Please don't kill me. Let me know in the comment section below. Maybe I just missed it because I was crushing the hell out of my popcorn, so maybe I just zoned out. Also, speaking of the spiritual journey, I hated that portion of the movie when Marcus died at the wedding and then he started moving in slow motion and it was like lightning and dramatic zoom ins to the eyes. Like, it was just so over the top and over dramatic in my opinion. Like, I get what they were going for, I just don't like the way they did it. As of this recording, it looks like Bad Boy Ride or Die is tracking to make around $53 million in its opening weekend. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a critic score of 64% and a fan rating of 97% with over 500 reviews. I want to give this movie a 7.5, but I don't do half scores, so I'm going to give this movie an 8, which is a great on my scale. This movie really surprised me. I really enjoyed it, and honestly, I kind of want to see it again. This movie had great action, great cinematography, great chemistry as always between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. I thought the other characters that they added were also really good. Like, I'm never going to be upset at seeing Vanessa Hudgens on my screen. I wish that was me, that she choked on that elevator. I'm not sure if they showed signs in the last movie, but I love the added element of Mike Lowry's character having to deal with these panic attacks, which I know that might sound weird. Like I said, I love the first movie. In the first movie, Mike was this playboy. He always had his shirt off. He's running in slow motion. He's running in guns blazing. He was kind of like a superhero. And in this movie, he's older. I love that they made his character kind of more grounded, which I thought was cool. But the main villain in this was hot garbage. The story, extremely predictable. This movie is action-packed, fun, and stupid. And I'm saying stupid in a good way. And I still really hate the title of this movie. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. What are your thoughts on this movie? Did you like this? Did you hate it? What's your favorite Bad Boy movie? And this got a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Damn. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Love you guys. Tell us when you love them. Till next time. See you in the next live.